Hi, everyone. I'm Zoe. Welcome to the Vectra AI podcast. Today we have Nicole from my team, or our team, joining us. Nicole, you want to say hello?
Hello, thanks for joining me, and thanks everyone for listening today.
Yeah. Today we have a awesome portfolio of some platform enhancements that Vectra recently has rolled out. This is spanning from November of last year to February of this year, but we have some really great things that we're going to cover. All right, let's get started.
Awesome.
So, Nicole, enhancement number one, what is backup downtime enhancements?
Yes, so essentially, Vectra has optimized the backup process to reduce downtime to under 10 minutes. The usability and the functionality of the backup has remained unchanged. So this enhancement really is aiming to help SOC teams and security teams to drastically reduce the completion time for backups.
Great. Enhancement number two, we have a new VMware sensor.
Yes. So Vectra has increased the bandwidth capabilities of VMware vSensors. These sensors can
Mm,
handle up to 20 gigabytes of traffic while supporting the same features as other cloud, virtual, and hardware sensors. It is important to note that Vectra only supports V11 and V15 hardware, but essentially this, you know, enhancement helps to increase our network traffic coverage for VMware environments.
awesome, awesome. How about dynamic routes on the QUX? I feel like we've heard about dynamic routes on Rux before, but what is this?
Yes. So essentially, we're expanding our dynamic group capabilities to the Quadrant UX. So it's a feature of the Vectra AI platform, as you mentioned, Zoe, that is typically on Rux. And it will allow customers to use regex rules to define which host or accounts should belong to each triage group. So as entities are detected, they are automatically sorted into the appropriate groups, essentially allows existing triage rules to now support dynamic groups without having to be rewritten or requiring additional modifications. This feature will help to reduce the amount of time security teams spend managing and updating groups in general. Um, and it's important to know, I just want to call that out, that as of today in Rux, otherwise known as our Respond UX, which is our cloud-based UI, groups can be converted from static to dynamic and from dynamic to static state. So I just want to call out that little differentiation.
All right, next feature, we have high performance GCP brains. What's that?
Yes. So essentially, as you mentioned, we now have high performance GCP brains to support, higher overall throughput than we previously had before. So specifically, Vectra's new performance rating for existing 96 core variant rates for around 85 gigs. And Vectra has also created a brand new 64 core variant rate for around 50 gigs. So essentially, we're trying to help increase network coverage support on the Vectra AI platform for users who have various forms, of Google Cloud Platform projects.
Awesome. All right, proxy support for suspect protocol activity and vector match. What is this?
Yes. So we now offer proxy support for suspect protocol activity, otherwise known as SPA and Vectra Match. So SPA and Match now support the use of several new variables based on the security team's, own inputs of configured IP address classification and their settings. So this will make it easier for Vectra to build SPA rules and
Mm,
for the security teams themselves to build their own match rules, which is basically based on signatures to accurately target specific IP ranges. Um, our pre-built detections by Vectra's own AI and cybersecurity experts, we're trying to help rapidly create new coverage for additional proxy support and Vectra match as fast as possible.
awesome. That's great. All right, Southside proxy IPs via command line. I think this has something to do with all the proxy talk that you just talked about.
Yes, so this is related. So with this, we're hoping to help SOC teams and security teams easily check with their Southside proxy IP in use by running the command line, as you can see here on the screen, to better monitor attacker behavior in real time. So this Southside proxy will help identify proxies where Vectra sits between the client and the proxy. And this differs from our Northside proxies, which are configured a little differently in the UI under the Manage dropdown to proxies. So SOC teams will be able to see the Southside proxies for a specific system. They're looking at to see what it has learned from observing the network traffic and the overall health and activity of that as well. It also will help to improve the overall management of the Vectra AI system and improve our, workflows for security teams as well.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Nice.
So we'll kick it off. I'll hand it back to you, Zoe, and we're going to keep going here. So tell us about improved traffic validation reports.
Yeah, so improved traffic validation report is one of our many reports on the Vectra AI platform. This report is on like you send yourself basically a report to your email based off of daily or monthly or weekly, but we added new fields. So, and I see errors, packet truncation, and drop-in holes in traffic. This report allows users to see information related to the network traffic observed by the sensors paired to the Vectra brain. And what this means is it gives overall visibility on the health of the Vectra system with additional statistic fields, such as what we mentioned with the errors and the packet truncation. And it also allows security architects, engineers to understand network traffic, observe if it meets the quality standards for detection and processing. So overall, just the system health, the Vectra system health. Yep.
Awesome. And what about S1 SFP interfaces support for MGT1 or capture use?
Lots of acronyms here, but essentially this just talks about our hardware, our S1 appliance. So we added support for the use of Vectra's S1 appliance for 2 onboard SFP interfaces for capture and management. So what this means is that we're just changed the command line from our previous one to what you see on the screen right there, set management default or SFP, set capture, et cetera, et cetera. So this creates 4 total configurations for management or capture. And you can see an example there on the screen of what our ports look like. This is a further support for visualization of hardware configuration, just more options for how we configure our hardware. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sounds complicated, but it's pretty much it.
Yes, awesome. Yeah. All good. And what about our X29 and M29 appliances and also our new syntax for using SFP plus for MGT?
Yeah, so this is what has to do with our previous enhancement, just resetting, or not resetting, changing the old command line from set management speed to new set management default. Just syntax change, nothing major. This helps with the standardization of our hardware setup and just simplifies the language across the board. Yep.
Cool. And for our next enhancement, can you tell us about hidden DNS Tunnel NoReply enhancements?
Yes, this is an enhancement on our existing hidden DNS Tunnel NoReply detection. And what happens now is that these detections detect scenarios where an attacker may attempt to exfil data over DNS using techniques where the server does not respond. For example, the tunnel is one-sided, and then the attacker streams data from in to out. What we did with this enhancement is that we just increased the coverage and clarity of network-based detections and attacks. It's just an optimization to the existing detection to cover more behaviors, more activity. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And can you speak to our scoring enhancements to AzureAD and M365?
We have a slew of scoring enhancements, so it's all listed out there. But all these enhancements are aimed at just accounting for risks of underlying behaviors. Once again, more activity. And this is going to result in changes within the entities prioritized with the Vectra AI platform. So you can see a list there of the affected AzureAD, AD detections, and M365 detections. And this will also be noted in our release notes as well if you want the further details. But essentially what these enhancements do, just increase the alert signal fidelity, reduce false positives to build a better and clearer signal within the Vectra AI platform.
Great. And what about our enhancements to our AWS detections?
So we also got a slew of AWS enhancements. So the enhancements includes detections, or the enhancements includes enhancements to detections. CloudTrail logging disabled. I totally fumbled that, but that's okay. CloudTrail logging disabled, CloudTrail logging modified, and user hijacking. You can see what those alerts typically alert upon for behavior. But our enhancements also honestly just broadens the behavior profile that represents this behavior, and then it also accounts for behaviors and impact on volumes of alerts surface, improving efficacy of alerting for our user hijacking detections. Once again, it just broader coverage of malicious behaviors, which increases our alert signal fidelity on the Vectra AI platform and reduces false positives. Once again, a better integrated signal, a clearer signal without all that noise, but also a smart signal. So that's our AWS detection enhancement.
Awesome, thank you. So with that, that closes out our podcast for today. As always, check out our product release notes at our support page. Subscribe to our podcast on YouTube or Spotify, wherever you listen to our podcasts. Feel free to like, comment, engage. We love, seeing your questions and commentary on what's working, what's not working. We want to make these better for all of our listeners. And as you can see, we really focus on innovation here at Vectra. So be on the lookout for more podcasts to come while we, continue our releases throughout the year. And thank you, Zoe, for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Nicole. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.